On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Surgery.
Medical treatment of injuries or diseases involving an incision with instruments and often removing or replacing some parts of the body, the branch of medical science that treats disease or injury by operative procedures.
Examples:
Cardiac surgery. The professor of surgery. He had undergone heart surgery years before.
Resident.
A person who lives in a particular place or has their home in a place.
Examples:
A resident of the city. Resident tax. Visa renewal for resident foreigners in this country is once every 5 years.
Emergency.
A sudden unforeseen crisis usually involving danger that requires immediate action.
Examples:
Emergency action. Acute emergency. The president declared a state of emergency.
Diabetes.
A medical condition in which the body cannot produce enough insulin to control the glucose levels in the blood.
Examples:
Juvenile diabetes. Diabetes patient. My father was tested for diabetes.
Ulcer.
A sore or erosion in the skin or mucous membrane, often caused by infection or inflammation, a persistent, painful cavity in the stomach or intestinal wall that can lead to digestive problems.
Examples:
Mouth ulcer. Gastric ulcer. The stress of the job caused him to develop an ulcer in his stomach.
Rot.
To decay, or cause something to decay, naturally and gradually.
Examples:
Begin to rot. Rot with age. Please refrigerate the meat, or it will rot.
Flesh.
The soft substance composing the body of a person or animal, as opposed to bones and other structures.
Examples:
Grow in flesh. Flesh eating. The flesh of the fruit is sweet and juicy.
Amputation.
The act of cutting off a part of the body surgically.
Examples:
Amputation of leg. Hand amputation. Amputation of the limb is a last resort for the patient.
Desperately.
In a way that shows a lack of hope and a willingness to do anything because of the problematic situation, with great urgency.
Examples:
Desperately anxious. Desperately ill patient. The baby clung desperately to her mother.
Empathy.
The ability to share another person's feelings or experiences by imagining that person's situation.
Examples:
Full of empathy. Empathy for patients. Empathy is also necessary to understand history.
Compassion.
A strong feeling of sympathy and sadness for another's suffering or bad luck.
Examples:
Feel compassion for the poor. Have compassion toward the accident. His infinite love and compassion for everyone never weary.
Newlywed.
A person who has recently married and is still in the early stages of their marriage.
Examples:
Congratulate the newlyweds. Newlywed bliss. The newlywed couple went on a romantic honeymoon in a tropical paradise.
Advance.
To go or move forward, to develop in a positive way.
Examples:
Advance the technology. Advance a cooperative relationship. Scientific knowledge will advance significantly with the power of AI.
Pancreas.
A glandular organ in the digestive system that produces several important hormones, including insulin and glucagon, as well as digestive enzymes that help break down food in the small intestine.
Examples:
Pancreas inflammation. Pancreas function. The endocrine function of the pancreas involves the secretion of hormones such as insulin.
Cancer.
Abnormal growth of cells that can invade and destroy surrounding tissues and organs. A disease characterized by the uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells.
Examples:
Cancer diagnosis. Cancer research. Breast cancer is the most common type of cancer in women.
Committed.
Willing to put in a lot of effort, time, and energy into something, firmly believing in something.
Examples:
In a committed relationship. Strong and committed sales staff. Our company is strongly committed to meeting customers' needs.
Blanket.
A large piece of soft material used to cover or wrap a person or thing to keep them warm. Adjective, broad in scope or content.
Examples:
Blanket authority. Blanket scarf. The electric blanket keeps me warm on cold nights.
Judgment.
The ability to form valuable opinions and make reasonable decisions.
Examples:
An emotional judgment. Deliver a judgment. Her judgments are consistently rational and sensible.
Obvious.
Easy to see, discover, or understand.
Examples:
Obvious reasons. His conclusion was obvious. There are obvious differences between the two wine-producing regions.
Determinant.
A factor, circumstance, or condition that contributes to the shaping, influencing, or determining of a particular outcome or result.
Examples:
Environmental determinant. A determinant of crop yields. One determinant of success is having a positive attitude and a strong work ethic.
Patient.
A person who is receiving medical treatment, care, or attention from a healthcare professional, such as a doctor, nurse, or therapist, a personal quality or characteristic.
Examples:
Patient in the hospital. Patient with weight loss. The doctor carefully examined the patient's medical history.
Contempt.
The feeling that a person or thing is beneath consideration, worthless, or deserving of scorn.
Examples:
Display contempt. Below contempt. The defendant's contempt for the court and its authority was evident in his behavior.
Amputate.
To cut off a part of the body, especially by surgery.
Examples:
Amputate both legs. Amputate below the knee. Finally, they had to amputate his foot to free him from the wrecked car.
Judge.
A person who makes decisions in a court of law. Verb, to determine the result of or form a critical opinion of something.
Examples:
Judge a competition. An associate judge. The strict judge ruled in favor of the plaintiff in the case.
Hubris.
Excessive pride, arrogance, or overconfidence, often leading to someone's downfall or ruin.
Examples:
Political hubris. Hubris in business. The athlete's hubris resulted in him underestimating his competition and losing the game.
Immune.
Protected against a particular disease or toxin due to the presence of specific antibodies or sensitized white blood cells.
Examples:
Immune from criminal prosecution. The cell of the immune system. The vaccination does not necessarily make you completely immune.
Therapy.
The act of caring for someone through medication, remedial training, etc.
Examples:
Therapy for a patient. Field of gene therapy. I underwent aversion therapy for my addiction to alcohol.
Melanoma.
A type of skin cancer that originates in the cells that produce pigment, usually occurring on sun-exposed skin areas.
Examples:
Melanoma diagnosis. Melanoma treatment. Protecting your skin from the sun by wearing sunscreen and protective clothing can help reduce the risk of melanoma.
Specific.
Clearly defined or particular to a certain thing or situation, distinct, explicit, and precise.
Examples:
Specific instructions. Industry-specific regulations. The scientist conducted a study that provided specific details about the species' behavior.
Assume.
To think or accept something to be true without having proof of it, to take or begin to have power, to begin to exhibit a specific quality or appearance.
Examples:
Assume a lousy attitude to his boss. Assume an important role. The following example assumes that the capacity of each battery is the same.
Disease.
A disorder or illness that affects the body or mind, often characterized by specific symptoms or abnormal functioning of organs or systems.
Examples:
Disease prevention. Disease control. The doctor diagnosed him with a rare disease that had no known cure.
Frequent.
Happening constantly.
Examples:
Frequent absence. Frequent use. His heartaches are less frequent now.
Conventional.
Based on or following traditional rules, standards, customs, etc.
Examples:
A conventional style. Get a conventional loan. She is very conventional in her thoughts.
Wisdom.
The quality of being wise, or the ability to use your knowledge and experience to make sensible decisions.
Examples:
A fountain of wisdom. Wisdom literature. The community greatly respected and sought after the older adult's wisdom.
Pathology.
The study of the nature and cause of diseases and disorders, the medical specialty that deals with the diagnosis and treatment of diseases and disorders.
Examples:
Benign pathology. Clinical pathology. The pathology report showed no signs of cancer, giving her family a sense of relief.
Sequence.
A series of related events, actions, numbers, etc., which have a particular order.
Examples:
The sequence of the seasons. The DNA sequence. We do move forward with those tasks in sequence next week.
Settle.
To reach an agreement of disagreement.
Examples:
Settle a dispute. Settle down in the town. I don't want to settle for second best.
Pyramid.
A polyhedron having a polygonal base and triangular sides with a common vertex. A massive monument with a square base and 4 triangular sides. Begun by Cheops around 2700 BC as royal tombs in ancient Egypt.
Examples:
Pyramid architecture. A truncated pyramid. The Egyptian pyramids consist of a vast number of blocks.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
develop a strategy, develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Metabolism.
The set of chemical reactions in cells or organisms that are necessary for life sustaining.
Examples:
metabolism enzyme, hemoglobin metabolism. Better sleep leads to increased metabolism.
Syndrome.
A group of signs and symptoms that occur together and are characteristic of a particular condition or disorder.
Examples:
syndrome of dementia, acute syndrome. The patient was diagnosed with a rare genetic syndrome.
Insulin.
A hormone produced in the pancreas that controls the amount of sugar in the blood, or a similar artificial substance used for the treatment of diabetes.
Examples:
daily insulin dose, development of insulin resistance. He had an insulin shock after drinking large quantities of fruit juices.
Resistant.
Not affected by something, especially changes or new ideas, of or relating to immunity, to disease or infection.
Examples:
penicillin-resistant bacteria, resistant to persuasion. Insects in urban areas are becoming resistant to insecticides.
Hormone.
A chemical substance made by organs that encourages or influences the development, growth, sex, etc., of an animal and is carried around the body in the blood.
Examples:
hormone secretion, female hormone. The doctor diagnosed me with a hormone disorder.
Fuel.
A substance that is typically burned to generate heat or energy.
Examples:
biomass fuel, smokeless fuel. The manufacturing sector was most severely impacted by the fuel scarcity.
Partition.
A physical divider or barrier that divides a space or area into two or more separate parts, a separation or division of something into different parts or sections.
Examples:
partition wall, hard drive partition. We must install a partition to separate the living room from the dining area.
Lingo.
The special vocabulary or terminology used by a particular group or profession.
Examples:
computer lingo, medical lingo. The language used in the article was technical lingo, making it difficult for non-experts to understand.
Incompatible.
So different as to not be able to exist or work with another thing or person.
Examples:
incompatible personalities, incompatible colors. It is a religion incompatible with the Western country.
Resistance.
The act of defending oneself from an aggressor or refusing to accept something.
Examples:
Resistance movement. Resistance to insulin. The bill to increase the consumption tax had passed despite much resistance from the public.
Increasingly.
More and more.
Examples:
Increasingly become common. Face increasingly complicated challenges. Our company found it increasingly difficult to keep up with the competition.
Cascade.
A small waterfall or series of small waterfalls, a succession of stages or operations or processes or units.
Examples:
Cascade connection. Transistor cascade. The cascade of waterfalls in the national park was a breathtaking sight.
Spiral.
A curve that coils around a central point and gets progressively farther away from it as it goes around.
Examples:
Spiral staircase. Spiral design. The leaves of the fern were arranged in a spiral pattern.
Alzheimer.
A neurodegenerative disease that causes memory loss, cognitive decline, and behavioral issues, is the most common cause of dementia in older adults.
Examples:
Alzheimer's brain. Alzheimer's risk factors. My grandmother has Alzheimer's disease, requires special care and attention from her caregivers.
Scare.
To frighten a person or animal, or to become frightened.
Examples:
Scare off her attacker by screaming. Scare the birds away. We hit the ground to scare out the rabbits.
Diet.
The food and drink that a person, animal, or community eats and drinks regularly, a legislative assembly in certain countries, for example, Japan.
Examples:
Eat a vegetarian diet. Diet approval. A balanced diet is more important for health than supplements.
Subtract.
To take away or deduct a quantity or amount from a total, to remove or eliminate something from a larger whole.
Examples:
Subtract numbers. Subtract one from the total. I need to subtract the cost of my expenses from my income to see how much money I have left.
Shocking.
Extremely or surprisingly bad, or causing a strong emotional response such as surprise or disgust.
Examples:
Shocking response. Shocking revelation. The news of the accident was shocking and left many in shock.
Pound.
The standard unit of money in the UK, the standard unit of weight equal to 16 ounces.
Examples:
3/4 of a pound. Thousands of pounds. The car's front bumper cost £1,500.
Weird.
Extraordinary, unexpected, or difficult to explain.
Examples:
A weird dress. The state of being weird. My computer has been acting weird recently.
Overweight.
Weighing more than is considered normal, desirable, or healthy for a particular height and build.
Examples:
Dangerously overweight. An overweight patient. The doctor advised him to lose weight and maintain a healthy diet to avoid becoming overweight.
Supposedly.
According to what is generally assumed or believed without actually knowing for sure.
Examples:
Supposedly identical. Necklace supposedly made of pure gold. He is supposedly nominated for a Nobel Prize.
Nutrition.
The substances or the process that organisms take into their bodies as food for their growth and health.
Examples:
Nutrition condition. Nutrition intake. This food contains all the nutrition your dog requires.
Underlying.
Significant as a cause or basis of something, but not immediately apparent or stated clearly.
Examples:
An underlying motive. An underlying cause of an accident. The underlying principle of every business was identical.
Maniacal.
Characterized by excessive or uncontrollable excitement, enthusiasm, or irrational behavior, showing extreme obsession or madness.
Examples:
Maniacal determination. Maniacal obsession. She let out a maniacal laugh as she plotted her revenge.
Obsess.
To fill the mind of someone continually so that one can't think of anything else.
Examples:
Obsess over her weight. He is obsessed with the fear. He's utterly obsessed with his promotion.
Relation.
The way two persons or groups of people feel and act toward one another.
Examples:
Relation between cause and effect. Relation of inclusion. The industrial relations laws were passed with little to no alteration.
Obesity.
The condition of being significantly overweight, typically defined as having a body mass index, BMI, of 30 or greater.
Examples:
Obesity-related diseases. Suffer from obesity. The prevalence of obesity has increased significantly in recent years.
Logical.
Characterized by clear and sound reasoning, following a rational and systematic approach, based on or in accordance with logic or reason.
Examples:
Logical conclusion. Logical reasoning. The mathematical equation had a logical solution that was easy to follow.
Backward.
At, to, or toward the direction or place that is behind or rear.
Examples:
Walk backward. Backward angle. She falls over backward when she sees her mother-in-law.
Symptom:
Any sensation or change in body or mind that is experienced by a patient and is associated with a particular disease.
Examples:
Symptoms of low testosterone. Neurotic symptoms. The patient displays a symptom of a side effect.
Tip:
The top or extreme point of something slender or tapering, usually a mountain or hill. A piece of advice about something practical, a small amount of money given for services.
Examples:
The tip of a paintbrush. Give the waiter a tip. I will introduce some tips on learning English in this class.
Proverb:
A short saying that expresses a truth or gives advice based on practical experience.
Examples:
A hackneyed proverb. Ancient proverb. The famous proverb "actions speak louder than words" reminds us to focus on deeds instead of words.
Iceberg:
A large piece of ice floating in the sea, detached from a glacier.
Examples:
Hit an iceberg. Iceberg melting. The ship encountered a series of icebergs and had to change its course.
Crazy:
Stupid or not sensible, very angry.
Examples:
Crazy about cars and racing. A crazy scheme. The rain and thunder are crazy today.
Midst:
The middle part of people or things.
Examples:
In the midst of the crowd. In the midst of a scandal. He remained serene in the midst of turbulence.
Epidemic:
The widespread outbreak of a particular disease in a large number of people at the same time.
Examples:
A worldwide epidemic. Health epidemic. The disease is now reaching epidemic proportions in our country.
Mechanism:
A part of a machine, or a set of parts that performs a task, a natural or established process that occurs during a specific situation or reaction.
Examples:
The mechanism for DNA replication. Defense mechanism. He discovered unique mechanisms for photochemical reactions.
Sinister:
Giving the impression that something bad or evil is happening or will happen.
Examples:
Sinister look. In sinister terms. The dark clouds in the sky gave off a sinister feeling.
Underneath:
Under or below something else.
Examples:
Underneath the surface of the water. Underneath the laughter. The penny fell underneath the piano.
Benign.
Kind and gentle, not harmful or malicious.
Examples:
Benign tumor. A benign smile. The lump was discovered to be benign, and no further treatment was needed.
Evil.
Profoundly immoral, cruel, and wicked, having or exerting a harmful effect on people.
Examples:
Evil ways. A charm against evil. Corruption is an evil act for any reason.
Allude.
To suggest or make reference to something indirectly.
Examples:
Allude to his low origin. Allude to the planning. He alluded to the problem but did not mention it directly.
Calorie.
Unit of heat defined as the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius at atmospheric pressure, used by nutritionists to measure how much energy food will produce.
Examples:
Calorie calculation. Reduce my calorie intake. It would be best if you burned off calories through vigorous exercise.
Appropriate.
Suitable or proper in the circumstances, fitting.
Examples:
Appropriate behavior. An appropriate time. It would be appropriate to dress nicely for the wedding.
Homeostasis.
The maintenance of stability or balance within an organism or system through various physiological processes that regulate internal conditions, such as temperature and pH.
Examples:
Cellular homeostasis. Homeostasis imbalance. The body's ability to maintain homeostasis is essential for survival in harsh environments.
Balance.
A condition in which everything has the same weight or force, something left after other parts have been taken away.
Examples:
The balance of power. Asset on the company's balance sheet. Try to keep a balance between work and off.
Deviate.
To depart from an established course or plan, to change direction or take a different route or approach.
Examples:
Deviate from the norm. Deviate from the plan. It's important not to deviate from the established safety procedures.
Complexity.
The state or quality of being complicated or intricate and difficult to understand.
Examples:
Cognitive complexity. Complexity theory. The project's complexity made it difficult for the team to complete it on time.
Cellular.
Of or connected with the cells of animals or plants. Of or connected with a mobile telephone system that uses several short-range radio stations instead of wires.
Examples:
cellular and molecular biology. A cellular phone handset. This factory employs a cellular manufacturing system.
Machinery.
A group of large machines or the components of a machine that make it work, social institution functions or structure for doing something.
Examples:
heavy machinery, inactive machinery. The machinery of audit formally issued a business improvement order.
Reverse.
To change something's direction, order, position, decision, etc., to the opposite one, adjective, directed or moving toward the rear.
Examples:
reverse the trend. Reverse the order. The restaurant reversed a ban on smoking.
Subtle.
Not readily apparent or visible.
Examples:
subtle changes. A subtle poison. The room was painted in a subtle pink hue.
Distinction.
A difference or contrast between similar things or people.
Examples:
important distinction. Draw a distinction. I can't see any distinction between these two concepts.
Implication.
Something that is inferred or indirectly stated, the act or fact of being involved in something.
Examples:
the implication in a crime. The implication of a word. His poem has a very significant implication.
Profound.
Extremely great, sensed or experienced very strongly, displaying a high level of knowledge or comprehension.
Examples:
a profound book. The profound depths of the sea. My mother's illness had a profound impact on us all.
Analogy.
A comparison between similar things that have similar aspects, often used to help explain a principle or concept.
Examples:
draw analogy. Historical analogy. Some kinds of machine learning models show an analogy to how people learn.
Bruise.
A mark caused by a blow, typically one that is purple or black on the skin.
Examples:
livid bruise. Earlier emotional bruise. She had a bruise on her arm from where she fell on the playground.
Shin.
The front part of the leg below the knee.
Examples:
shin guard. Shin injury. The pain in his shin made it hard for him to walk.
Inadvertently.
Unintentionally, accidentally, without purpose or deliberate intent.
Examples:
Inadvertently deleted. Inadvertently omitted. I inadvertently left my phone at home this morning and felt lost.
Bang.
To hit or cause to hit something in a way that makes a loud noise.
Examples:
Bang his fist on a desk. Bang a phone down. My father tried to bang mathematics into my head since childhood.
Hell.
The place thought to be where bad people go and are punished after death, often depicted as being located beneath the earth, an extraordinarily unpleasant or difficult place.
Examples:
Run like hell. Hell broke loose. The battlefield became hell on earth.
Discolor.
To change color or become discolored, often as a result of exposure to sunlight, chemicals, or the aging process.
Examples:
Discolor urine. Cause teeth to discolor. The sun had discolored the curtains, making them look faded.
Opposition.
The act of disagreeing or resisting, the state of strong disagreement.
Examples:
Opposition campaign. Meet with opposition. The opposition party strongly disagreed with the government's proposed legislation.
Trauma.
An emotional wound or shock often has long-lasting effects caused by a highly upsetting or shocking experience.
Examples:
Psychic trauma. Trauma care. Many civilians have suffered trauma as a result of the war.
Injury.
Harm done to a person's or an animal's body caused by an accident or an attack.
Examples:
Without injury. A fatal injury. My accidental injury got better right away.
Salvage.
The act of saving or rescuing something from potential loss or destruction, the property or items that are saved or rescued in this way. Verb, to save, recover, or rescue something from a dangerous, damaged, or deteriorating situation.
Examples:
Salvage operation. Salvage a sunken ship. The salvage yard was full of old cars waiting to be scrapped.
Debris.
Broken or torn fragments of something.
Examples:
Space debris. Pile of debris. Marine debris is a major continuous global problem.
Infection.
A condition in which pathogenic microorganisms or viruses have entered the body.
Examples:
A bacterial infection. Treat the infection with antibiotics. Hospitals must meet various standards to prevent nosocomial infections.
Evolve.
To develop gradually, or to cause the development of something or someone gradually.
Examples:
Evolve. Evolve over the past decade. Eyeless fish evolved in dark caves.
Giant.
Extremely big, much bigger or more important than similar items usually are.
Examples:
Giant trees. Giant tech company. The giant jets that gradually dominate the world's airlines.
Medical.
Relating to the treatment of illness or injuries, relating to the practice of medicine.
Examples:
A medical opinion. Temporary medical treatment. The medical team worked quickly to save the patient's life.
Mask.
To conceal something, noun, a covering that you wear over your face to hide it.
Examples:
Mask body odor. An oxygen mask. The politician tried to mask the corruption.
Painkiller.
Medicine used to relieve physical pain.
Examples:
A strong painkiller. Take a painkiller beforehand. Over-the-counter painkillers are less effective for patients who have taken many in the past.
Ignore.
To intentionally not listen or pay attention to.
Examples:
Ignore her advice. Ignore a ban. Since independence, the area has been completely ignored.
Pharmaceutical.
Relating to the production and selling of the medical drugs.
Examples:
Major pharmaceutical companies. Commercial pharmaceutical products. She gave money to help set up a pharmaceutical laboratory.
Industrious.
Hardworking, diligent, and persistent in effort.
Examples:
Industrious worker. Industrious student. He was known to be very industrious and would often work late into the night.
Shareholder.
A person who owns shares of stock in a company or business and therefore gets the company's profit and has the right to control the company.
Examples:
The shareholders' meeting. Gain shareholder approval. Our company is committed to increasing shareholder value.
Improvisation.
The act of making something up on the spot or creating or performing something without preparation.
Examples:
Improvisation on stage. Jazz improvisation. He created a beautiful piece of music using only improvisation.
Associate.
To mentally connect someone or something with someone or something else.
Examples:
Associate alcohol with gambling. Associate with people widely. The majority of consumers associate this brand with quality.
Obese.
Excessively overweight, particularly to the point of being a serious health risk, having a body mass index, BMI, of 30 or more.
Examples:
Obese individuals. Obese children. The doctor warned him that his obese condition put him at risk for numerous health problems.
Threaten.
To utter intentions of injury or punishment against someone.
Examples:
Threaten a healthy relationship. Threaten national security. Various artificially induced causes are threatening our ecosystem.
Statistics.
The discipline that concerns the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of data.
Examples:
Statistics for cancer. Official statistics. The statistics demonstrate that poverty and unemployment are genuine problems.
Lean.
Having a noticeably small amount of body fat. Verb, to bend or move from a straight to a sloping posture.
Examples:
A lean horse. Lean athletic figure. Lean operational improvements often lead to better environmental performance.
Converse.
To talk informally.
Examples:
Converse with an acquaintance. Ask a converse question. She enjoyed the opportunity to converse with a person who spoke her language.
Mention.
To speak or write about something or someone briefly.
Examples:
Mention name. Mention in a report. I mentioned to him that I had seen his sister at the grocery store earlier that day.
Counterpart.
A person or thing that corresponds to or has the same function as another person or thing.
Examples:
Counterpart agreement. Negotiating counterpart. His counterpart in the other company is responsible for marketing.
Excess.
An amount or quantity beyond what is acceptable, expected, or reasonable.
Examples:
Lose excess weight. An excess of exports. The road of access leads to the palace of wisdom.
Proxy.
A person or entity that is authorized to act on behalf of another person or entity.
Examples:
Healthcare proxy. Proxy server. She voted by proxy because she was unable to attend in person.
Blame.
To think or say that someone or something did something wrong or is responsible for something bad.
Examples:
Blame circumstances for the failure. Blame the lack of knowledge. We blamed our impeded progress on lack of money.
Victim.
A person who has been harmed, injured, or otherwise negatively affected by a particular action, circumstance, or event.
Examples:
Victim support, victim compensation. The victim of the crime deserves justice and support to recover from the trauma.
Fundamental.
Forming an essential base or core from which everything else develops or is affected.
Examples:
Fundamental education, fundamental rights. Human behavior has fundamental characteristics.
Afford.
To have enough money or time to be able to buy or do something.
Examples:
Afford to buy a new car. Afford a high travel cost. He cannot afford a holiday.
Luxury.
A state of great comfort or sophistication, mainly provided by expensive and beautiful things.
Examples:
Get into the luxury car market. Luxury hotel. His anti-luxury practices were quite strict.
Arrogance.
Excessive self-confidence or self-importance.
Examples:
Brazen arrogance. Arrogance of power. He acted with arrogance and was not well liked by his colleagues.
Certainty.
The state of being certain.
Examples:
Scientific certainty. Reach certainty about the theory. Through investigation, his suspicions hardened into certainty.
Hypothesis.
A proposed idea or explanation that is based on a few known facts, but has not yet been proven to be true or accurate.
Examples:
Test my hypothesis. A bold hypothesis. This evidence supports the Big Bang hypothesis.
Glucose.
A type of sugar that is found in plants, especially fruit, and is an essential energy source in living things.
Examples:
Blood glucose test. Glucose level. The doctor injected glucose into his patient's veins.
Refined.
Made pure by having impurities or unwanted elements removed by processing.
Examples:
Adopt a refined attitude. A lot of refined sugar. She was highly refined in her choice of apparel.
Grain.
Wheat or any other small hard seeds used as a food, a relatively small granular particle of a substance.
Examples:
A grain of sand. Flour made from grain. Ordinary air purifiers cannot adequately remove pollen grains.
Starch.
A complex carbohydrate found in many plants, including rice, wheat, and potatoes, that is an important foodstuff for humans and animals.
Examples:
Starch granules. Potato starch. When heated, starch molecules absorb water and become thick and gooey, making it a useful thickening agent in cooking.
Elevate.
To raise something from a lower to a higher position, to give a promotion to or assign to a higher position.
Examples:
Elevate educational standards. Elevate a close relationship. Eating food in a hurry elevates blood glucose levels.
Physiological.
Relating to the normal functioning of living organisms and their organs and systems, concerning the physical or biochemical processes and activities that occur within the body.
Examples:
Physiological response. Physiological activity. The doctor explained the various physiological changes that occur during pregnancy.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal. A systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective. A method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
Process improvement. Decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Hypothesize.
To form or present a theory or explanation without sufficient evidence, to speculate.
Examples:
Hypothesize as to outcomes. Hypothesize what could have happened. Scientists hypothesize that the new fish species evolved to survive in deep-sea environments.
Intake.
The act or process of taking food, air, etc., into your body through the mouth, the amount of food, air, or another substance that you take into your body.
Examples:
A small intake of breath. An intake pipe. He has been advised to reduce his daily fat intake.
Necessarily.
In an essential manner, in such a way as could not be otherwise.
Examples:
Not necessarily a problem. Necessarily true. This accident was something that happened necessarily.
Overexercising.
Engaging in excessive or obsessive amounts of physical exercise, often to the point of physical or emotional harm.
Examples:
Symptoms of overexercising. Overexercising leads to burnout. Some people with eating disorders may engage in overexercising to purge or compensate for food intake.
Restrict.
To limit someone's actions or movements, or to limit something to lessen its size or prevent it from increasing.
Examples:
Restrict an internet access. Restrict the use of this parking lot. We restrict the number of students per course to 20.
Bias.
A strong feeling in favor of or against one group of people, an idea, or thing, often not based on fair judgment.
Examples:
Bias against a big company. Have a bias towards socialism. She researched gender bias in politics.
Possibility:
A chance that something may happen or be true.
Examples:
Possibility for growth. Possibility of a major earthquake. The possibility of getting the disease will drastically increase.
Bet:
To risk money on the result of an event or a competition, such as a race or game, to get more money, to have faith or confidence in something.
Examples:
Bet on a race. Bet my future. I bet that you know it.
Devote:
To commit or dedicate oneself or one's time, effort, or energy to a particular task or purpose.
Examples:
Devote all of my energies. Devote my own life. He devoted himself to studying the history of ancient civilizations.
Decide:
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Pretension:
The act of claiming or asserting something, especially without good reason or without evidence, an unfounded or excessive claim or ambition.
Examples:
Pretension to authority. Baseless pretension. His pretensions of being a gourmet were quickly exposed when he could not identify basic herbs and spices.
Humble:
Having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's quality or importance.
Examples:
A humble cottage. Humble opinion. The nobler, the more humble.
Fortunate:
Having good luck or lucky.
Examples:
Fortunate situation. Less fortunate person. He was pretty fortunate to pass the exam.
Amazing:
Extremely surprising, especially in a way that you like or admire.
Examples:
Amazing advances. The most amazing feeling. The golfer recorded an amazing distance.
Surround:
To be all around something or somebody.
Examples:
Surround a town. A stone wall surrounds the palace. On 3 sides, mountains surround the settlement.
Rival:
A person, company, or thing competing with others for the same thing or in the same area.
Examples:
Rival bidder. Merge with a rival company. He interfered with his rivals in various ways during the campaign.
Recruit.
To persuade someone to work for a company, to find new members for an organization, the armed forces, etc.
Examples:
recruit a good worker, recruit a new hire. The colonial government recruited militia support when civil war broke out.
Consume.
To spend something, especially fuel, energy, or time, in a large amount.
Examples:
consume a large of alcohol, consume electricity. A smaller car will consume less fuel.
Dietary.
Relating to or affecting the way that a person eats or the specific foods that they consume.
Examples:
dietary supplement, dietary restrictions. The menu at the restaurant includes many dietary options for those with food restrictions.
Disciplinary.
Of or relating to the punishment of people who break the rules, of or relating to a specific field of academic study.
Examples:
disciplinary action, take disciplinary measures. The school's disciplinary committee met to discuss the students' behavior.
Skeptical.
Doubting that something is accurate or useful.
Examples:
a skeptical attitude, skeptical scientists. His religious and philosophical beliefs were utterly skeptical.
Exceedingly.
To an extreme degree.
Examples:
exceedingly common, an exceedingly difficult book. Fear is exceedingly infectious, and children catch it from their elders.
Talented.
Having a natural ability or aptitude for something, showing exceptional skill or ability in a particular area.
Examples:
a very talented actor, talented athlete. She is a talented musician, able to play several instruments.
Experiment.
The scientific test conducted to observe what happens and gain new knowledge.
Examples:
experiment design, series of experiments. His experiments showed highly positive results.
Tempting.
Likely to attract or persuade someone to do something, especially something that may not be wise or safe.
Examples:
tempting offer, sound very tempting. The chocolate cake was too tempting for me to resist.
Policy.
A set of rules, guidelines, principles, or procedures that govern decision-making or action, often used in the context of business or government. A course of action or plan of action adopted or followed by an organization or individual to achieve a goal or objective.
Examples:
Health policy. Foreign policy. The company's new policy on remote work has made it a more inclusive workplace.
Prescription.
A written or spoken instruction that directs a medical practitioner to prescribe a specific treatment or medication for a patient.
Examples:
prescription drugs. Fill the prescription. I need to refill my prescription for allergy medication at the pharmacy.
Rigorous.
Allowing or demanding no deviation from a standard, extremely careful, thorough, or accurate.
Examples:
rigorous standards. Have rigorous criticism. The way he manages his employees is extremely rigorous.
Meta.
Pertaining to or involving a higher or more abstract level of analysis, interpretation, or self-reference, often used to describe aspects of gaming, social media, or other online communities that involve self-conscious or self-referential elements.
Examples:
meta-analysis. Meta-language. The meta-description of a website is an important element for search engine optimization.
Theme.
A subject or topic of discourse or artistic representation.
Examples:
theme park. Central theme. The theme of the novel is the corrupting influence of power. Enzyme. A substance produced by a living organism that acts as a catalyst to bring about a specific biochemical reaction.
Examples:
enzyme reaction. Lack of digestive enzymes. A deficiency in the enzyme can lead to a medical condition. Nuanced. Characterized by subtle differences in appearance, meaning, sound, etc. Examples: nuanced view. The common but nuanced opinion. The sommelier can distinguish nuanced variants in the flavor of the wine. Molecular. Of or relating to molecules, equals a group of two or more atoms held together by attractive forces known as chemical bonds. Examples: molecular structure. Molecular biology. Molecular weight is the sum of all the atoms. Insight. The ability to gain an accurate and deep understanding of people or situations, an accurate and deep understanding of what something is like. Examples: a profound insight. Share my insights. We gained various insights by analyzing the vast amount of data owned by the company. Practical. Of or connected with actual use or real situation rather than with theory and ideas. Examples: practical English. Gain practical experience. Her concept is highly practical and helpful.
Implement.
To put a decision, plan, or system into effect.
Examples:
Implement a corporate strategy. Implement security measures. The government promised to implement a new system to control the financial crisis.
Identify.
To recognize someone or something and say or prove who or what they are.
Examples:
Identify handwriting. Identify gene sequences. I will introduce you to how to identify the leading causes of the malfunction.
Default.
To fail to fulfill an obligation or pay a debt when it is due, to fail to meet expectations or perform as required, to choose or accept a predetermined option or condition without making a deliberate selection or choice. Noun, the preset or automatic settings that a system or program uses when the user has selected no other options.
Examples:
Default settings. Default on the mortgage. If you don't specify a different option, the computer will default to its original settings.
Cue.
A signal, gesture, or action that provides information or direction for someone else to act or respond, a reminder or prompt for someone to do something.
Examples:
Cue card. Visual cue. The director gave the actor a cue to begin the scene.
Sufficient.
Adequate, enough for a particular purpose or requirement.
Examples:
Sufficient time. Self-sufficient economy. That candidate does not have sufficient means to win an election with certainty.
Courage.
The ability to face danger, difficulty, uncertainty, or pain without being overcome by fear or despair. The quality of being brave or courageous.
Examples:
Mental courage. Inspire courage. It takes a lot of courage to stand up for what you believe is right.
Constantly.
All the time.
Examples:
A constantly innovative enterprise. A constantly varying mind. The mobile application industry is constantly changing.
Pun.
A humorous play on words or use of words that sound similar but have different meanings, often for a comedic effect, a form of wordplay.
Examples:
Witty pun. Silly pun. The comedian's pun had the audience laughing out loud.
Clinical.
Of or relating to the examination and treatment of patients rather than theoretical or laboratory studies.
Examples:
Clinical surgery. Participate in clinical trials. She received special clinical training at the hospital.
Forgiveness.
The act of stopping feeling angry or resentful towards someone for a mistake or offense with compassion.
Examples:
forgiveness of liabilities, beg for forgiveness. He gained debt forgiveness.